Hello. I don't know if anyone can hear me. This is my first time doing a live stream. If someone could let me know how the audio is, whether it's too loud, too quiet. Okay, I see some people here, so we're gonna start. So today we're going to be finishing some of these bowls. So these are bowls that I turned from a tree that was felled outside my house about a year ago, and I'm going to finish some of them off today live. So let's see how it goes. If anyone has any questions as well, then just put them in the chat and I'll see them. It's poplar, so it's a piece of wood. Yeah, it's a piece of wood I got. There's a giant tree felled, really huge. It had 3 giant limbs coming off it, and it was felled just outside my house. It's the tallest tree that was around, so I got loads of wood from it. I think I got like 40 something huge pieces of it. And each piece makes 2 bowls. Excuse me. Each piece makes 2 bowls, so I've got about, I don't know, probably had about 80 bowls worth, but I didn't have enough time to turn it all before it all started splitting. So I think I've got probably about 30 bowls out of it, so quite a lot to get through. I don't think I'm going to get through them all today. Yeah, so this was turned on the 12th of the 4th last year. So first I'm going to start by squaring the tenon and making it the right size to fit in my chuck and make it round again. And then I can flip it back around and start shaping the bowl. So I'm just going to put my mask on. If somebody could let me know whether you can still hear me, because I've just because the microphone's on the outside of my mask, so I don't know whether you'll be able to hear me. Perfect. Oh, hi Nathan. So the finish at the moment isn't perfect, but I'm just trying to get the tenon square so I can flip it back round and grip it in the chuck, so that's probably alright. I use crown turning tools and they're really good, but I've got a lot of Axminster ones as well. So, don't know whether you can see this. This is my bowl gouge. It's a Crown Cryo. It's the one with M42 steel, I think. I can't remember what it is. And then this is my skew, which I use for shaping the tenon at the bottom of the bowl. It's really useful for getting in there and getting a nice clean edge. And this is made of the same stuff. It's the same tool, but just a skew instead of a bowl gouge. So when I'm putting this back in, what I'm looking for is for the tenon to sit really nicely and tightly up against the chuck, rather than the actual bowl being square, because I can fix the bowl being square, but if the bowl isn't sitting right in the chuck, then it'll be difficult to turn and it won't go back in straight. Okay. I'm just going to move the tailstock off because it's a bit in the way, although you can't really see that. So at the moment I'm just trying to get the most of the weight of the bowl off so that I can turn the speed up, because at the moment it's quite off balance still. There's quite a lot of tear out at the moment, but when I can turn the speed off I'll get rid of that. So now it's roughly round now. It's still a bit out of round, but I can turn the speed up a bit now, and then that should make the progress go quicker. So I did have it turning at about 500 RPM, and now it's up to 700. if anyone's got any questions as well, then if you just put them in the chat, then I'll see them. I use what type of finishes? So I use a lot of chestnut stuff. It's really good. So I use sanding sealer for a lot of my projects, and then I've got a variety of different things to go on top of it. So this is one of my favourites. This is the microcrystalline wax, and this is it gets a really nice shiny finish. But a lot of the chestnut stuff I like to use because it's just very easy to do. I have tried Libron as well. They're quite good, and Hampshire Sheen as well, and Yorkshire Grit. But I think in general the chestnut system of finishes is very nice. So at the moment the outside's got quite a nice finish on it, and the inside's got quite a nice finish on it. So now I just want to try and get the thickness all the way down the same, so I can feel like with my hand, and it's quite thick at the bottom at the moment. So I'm just going to take that down. I do want to leave a little bit of material at the bottom because when I flip it back around in the button jaws, then I'm going to be to remove the tenon, then I want a little bit of excess wood there so that I don't go too thin. So I'm happy with the shape here, and it's a consistent thickness, so I'm going to go on to sanding. So I can use the lathe in reverse, but you don't really want to do that so much on bowls because there's a larger diameter, so there's more torque on it, and you've got to be careful you don't unscrew the chuck from the lathe. Okay. I normally sand to about, so I start with 80 grit, which is what I'm doing now, and then once I've got rid of all the tear out from the normal bowl, from the bowl gouge, once I've got rid of all the tear out from the bowl gouge, then I go up to, oh sorry, can you still hear me while I'm sanding? So I use 80 grit to start with, and then normally I go up to about 240, which removes most of the visible lines from the previous grit. So it's only it removes all the previous lines. It removes all the lines from the previous grit, but normally that's good enough to finish to for me, especially with these bowls where I don't want to be putting a ton of time and sandpaper into them to get them looking absolutely perfect. So 240 I go up to with these, and then that's good enough for a finish, and it looks really nice. I'm going to tighten down the chuck and the set screws that are holding my chuck on, because I'm going to do this in reverse for a bit to get rid of the major tear out, and I don't want it flying off. This pop was really hard to sand because it creates a ton of tear out with the tool if you're not going with the grain, which is impossible to go 100% with the grain on a bowl. But where it goes against the grain, it creates a huge amount of tear out because it's quite open grained, or at least this piece I've got here is. So at this point here, there's loads of tear out, which I'm trying to get rid of, and then here as well on the end grain. I realise this isn't very interesting content to watch, but I don't want to rush this bowl just because I'm doing it on a live stream. Sanding by hand as well can help, doing it in the opposite direction to the way the lathe spins, and then it just sands it, the bits with tear out especially, it just sands the bowl in a different direction and makes it cut through the bits that have got tear out on them quicker. There we go, that'll do, I think. So, oh hello, hi from Italy. So it's weird to have people watching from all over the world. So I'm going to be using cellulose sanding sealer for this, and then I'm going to use some, actually I need to do some more grit sanding first, but because I've only done it with 80 grit. But after I've done that, I'm going to use cellulose sanding sealer, and then I'm going to use cut and polish, which is like Yorkshire grit, and then I'm going to use wax to finish this. Okay, so that'll do for sanding, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to use sanding sealer. And this just goes all around the bowl. I'm not worrying about doing the 10 for now, or finishing around that, because that's not sanded anyway, because the chuck's in the way. So, and we can do that when we flip it back around on the button jaws. So this is pretty fast drying, and once it's dry, then I can use just some high grit sandpaper. I think this is like 300 and something, or 400 even, and just to denib it, to get rid of all of the lines from applying it, and then we can go on to use putting some wax on or something. Someone here from Alabama now. We've got the whole world watching. So this that I'm using is cut and polish. So this is the Chestnut Products version of Yorkshire Grit. I've got both, but it's just easier to use this because I've got it here. And I'm doing the inside and outside in a separate operation because I don't want this to start drying before it's fully sanded, before it's fully gone up through the abrasive. So that's nice and shiny now. I just used some microcrystalline wax on it, and once that's dry in a couple of minutes, then I can hit it again with the cloth, and it'll go super shiny. Thanks, it's yeah, it does look really good. For anyone who's just joined the stream, I'm turning a poplar bowl from a tree that was cut down outside my house about a year ago. And yeah, it's looking really good. We're nearly done with it. So now that's done, I'm going to take it out to the chuck and I'll hold it up there. You can see it looks really nice. So the next step is I'm going to take this chuck off and grab the button jaws, and then I can put the bowl in the other way around and turn the base to remove the tenon. Yeah, thanks for watching. It's great to have so many people here. I don't want to do this too tight because I don't want to crack the bowl, but just tight enough that it doesn't move is good, because these the rubber things are tapered, so they shouldn't let it go even if they're not on super tight. Another thing you want to do as well when you're doing the base, other than just removing the tenon, you want to check that it's flat, because otherwise, because what you don't want is when you finished it, is to sit it down on a flat surface and then just wobble about. So it's still a little convex, so I need to take a bit more off the middle so that it is concave and it doesn't touch the bottom, or sorry, the bottom doesn't touch the ground in the middle. There we go, so I'm probably finished with the tool, even though it's not perfect, the finish, I can just go on to sanding and that will get rid of any major rough spots. I don't know what language that is, but welcome. So I'm done with sanding now, I think, so completely. So I'm gonna get some of the finish, and then start finishing the base as well. Ah, yeah, this cloth isn't very good. I need to be using a kitchen roll really, but I couldn't find, I normally have a roll around, but I couldn't find it. Well, it looks like it's back to sanding for a minute. The sanding stuff, so this is, I think it's Mirka. Yeah, it's for a drum sander. I've got a big roll of it, and I use it for my drum sander, and I just rip pieces off, and use it for sanding on the lathe as well. It's quite expensive to buy a big roll of it, but this has lasted me for like a year, and I've still got half left. Okay, there we go. Back to the wood now. Got rid of that all the disintegrating paper towel. I've just spotted my my roll of kitchen roll actually, so I should be able to. Hopefully, this will work without disintegrating this time. I've just taken my mask off, so you should be able to hear me a little bit better now. We're done with all the sanding, so not really much point wearing it. Hi James, how you doing? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so there we go. That's basically the finished bowl. So after the wax is dried on the bottom, then the yeah. So once the wax is dried on the bottom, then I can buff it up with the cloth, and then it's done. I can take it off the lathe, and we can have a look at it. If anyone's got any questions, then while we wait for it to dry, then I can answer some. But otherwise, we'll yeah, I'll buff this while anyone's got any questions. I'll answer them when it's finished. Yeah, there we go. So it's done. The last bit is to clean any dust off it that's got stuck in the teeth, and then the rubber bits of the button jaws, and then stuck onto the bowl. But there we go. Just trying to find the camera. There we go. I'm looking at this backwards, so whichever way I move it, it doesn't go the right way. But yeah, there we go. There it is. So Any questions? Yeah, so let's see. Am I going to do the YTCCC? Yes, I am planning to do that at some point. So I just need to find a day where I've got enough time to go and find a piece of wood and then do it. But yeah, that should be fun. Nice ball, thank you. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, especially people who stayed here for the whole time. But anyone who's been watching, thanks for the support, and it's been really fun. Yeah, greenwood turning balls is really fun because the bit that I've just done here, although it's nice, the best bit of doing greenwood bowls is when it's actually greenwood, because to turn them is just so quick and easy. But yeah, yeah, there we go. So if there's not any more questions, then I think I'll probably end the stream here. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. It's been fun hanging out and making a bowl. Yeah, okay. That's it then. Thanks for watching.